Hey everybody, Mr. Rupp here, back with part 3 of the 3-part tutorial on how to use Kami. And so part 1, we talked about how to download Kami. Part 2, we talked about how to use Kami and how to put answers on the page. And in part 3, we're going to talk about how to turn in that assignment. So this should be really easy. All you have to do once you're done typing in all your answers and you're ready to turn it in, there's a button in the top right up here, and it says turn in. So you're going to click turn in, and then you'll click this turn in button, and it's going to allow you to turn in. I'll go ahead and click it to show you what happens. It won't let me turn it in to myself because I'm a teacher. But it should automatically pull you back into Schoology, and it will submit that assignment. Now, for me, I can see all the submissions as they appear over here. For you, you'll probably just see that you had submitted the assignment. Okay, so let's go back. So that's the first way that you can turn in assignments. That's the way that I would recommend because it's the easiest. Now, having used Kami for a little bit, I understand that it doesn't always work 100% of the time. So this is very important. Before you turn in any assignment, I would highly recommend using the button right to the right of that. It's the download button. And I would download a copy of your assignment. Sometimes when students use the turn it in button, it will turn in the assignment to the teacher, but in the teacher's inbox, it will show up as a blank copy of that PDF. We will not be able to see it. So sometimes there's an error in Kami, and when it turns it in, your teachers will see this. It will look just like that. And it's confusing for us, and it's frustrating for you. So just to avoid that frustration, I would recommend before you turn in any assignment, click this download button. And I'll talk about the options under the download button. So you can either save it to your computer, or you can save it to your Google Drive. That's really up to you, whichever one you prefer. If you save it on your computer, it should just be saved to your downloads folder. If you save it to your Google Drive, I believe it will create a Kami exports folder in your Google Drive. That if I had to do this all the time, I would probably use the Google Drive option because that saves it on the cloud. That way it's accessible from anywhere, and if something happens to your Chromebook, it's not lost. So if you click computer or Google Drive, the next thing you have to choose is one of these 3 options here. You can either download it as the original with none of your answers on there, which of course you do not want to do that. You can download the annotations only, which will just save what you've typed or drawn on the page without saving the questions. You don't want to do that either. So every time you should just use this middle option. And what that's going to do is it's going to embed those answers into the PDF, and they're going to become part of that PDF. That way they can never disappear. So you'll click with all annotations. If you'd like to rename it before you download it, you can do that here. And then I would always click the flatten annotations button. That's the part that's actually going to embed the annotations into the PDF. And that's what's going to make sure 100% of the time that your PDF is going to have your answers on it and that those answers won't be lost. So once you've selected those options, you'll click Begin Export. And you can see down here, I've already played around with this a couple times. So it will pop up a little downloads toolbar. If you want to see where you've saved that, you can click on the little arrow, click Show in Folder, and it will take you to the folder that it was downloaded into. And then you can either on Schoology, you'll have an option where you can submit it manually. So if you go back to Schoology, there'll be a button where you can click Submit, and your teacher can show you how to attach that PDF you downloaded into your submission before you submit. Or once you've already downloaded it, you can go ahead and click Turn it in. So download it, make sure that you have a copy of it, and then click Turn it in. And if it turns in and Kami messes up and it turns in a blank PDF, you always have that copy that you downloaded, and you can get that to your teacher. All right, so that is how to turn in assignments via Schoology using Kami.